Hello everyone. Today we shall discuss about calculate function. Calculate function evaluates an expression in a modified filter context. In calculate function, the first parameter is the expression. This expression could be measure, okay, or the aggregation functions which we could use. And the other parameters, okay, filter 1, filter 2, these are the filter conditions or filter expressions where we provide on the requirement basis. Here these filters could be of three different types of expressions. First one could be Boolean filter expressions like true or false. Second one could be table filter expressions which results in a table. Third one is filter modification functions where it modifies the filters existing filter conditions. Okay. When filter expressions are provided in calculate, it modifies the filter context and it would be resulting in two possible outcomes unless it is wrapped in filter keep filters function. Okay, the two possible outcomes are, first one is if the columns are not in the filter context, then new filters will be added to the filter context and it evaluates the expression. If tables are not in the filter context, then the new filters will be added. If the columns or tables are already in the filter context, then existing filters will be overwritten or overridden by the new filters which are written in the expressions. We shall see in practical like how it works and how it functions. Here there is one more thing to remember. If calculate function is used without filters, it it achieves a specific requirement and it transitions row context to filter context. Like you will be able to understand this once we go through the row context and filter context. This function is not supported for use in direct query mode when it is used in calculated columns or row level security rules. Moving ahead, as I told you, these filters could be applied in three different ways, like Boolean filter expressions, table filter, and filter modification. Now we shall see what is Boolean filter expressions. We know that Boolean expression filter, it evaluates to true or false condition. If it is true, then it results in the output. But there are few more conditions for it. In the filter expression which results in true or false, they can reference only columns from a single table. Okay, they can only reference the columns. We cannot use reference measures in filter condition. We cannot use reference measures. We cannot use nested calculate function in the filter conditions, and also we cannot use the functions that scan or return a table unless they are passed as arguments to aggregate functions. Okay, and last condition is it can contain aggregation function which returns a scalar value. For example, here in the calculate function we have this aggregation function as the first parameter, and in the second filter condition we have this max of order date key, sales order date key, which results in the scalar value that maximum date is calculated, evaluated, and then it is used as a filter condition to evaluate. Let us see few Boolean filter expressions. I'll quickly show you the data here. Here I am moving to the sales table. Here we have date, country, distributor, brand, and operator and cost, all those columns. Here I have sales column. Now what I shall do is I'll quickly make a measure and help you understand how this Boolean expression filter works. Suppose that I want total sales. Okay, I'll write sum of sales. Okay, this is my aggregation function expression, which is easily understandable that I am calculating sum of sales. Okay, this is my total sales measure. What I'll do is I'll go to home tab, I'll take the measure, I like text card and click on the measure. This is my total sales, which is 127 million. Okay, now I want to use the filter condition expression to calculate the sales for Canada country. Okay, what I'll do is I'll create a new measure. Here I'll write Canada sales equal to, I'll shift enter, I'll write calculate. We have the total sales measure which is sum of sales. I'll put a comma. In the filter condition I'll write country equal to Canada. Okay, this will evaluate the condition of country equal to Canada, and calculate the total sales respectively for me. Okay, I'll click on this tick button and I'll close the measure. I'll go to home tab, take another text card, click on the Canada sales. Here you could see that Canada sales is around 6 million. Out of 127 million total sales, Canada sales is 6 million. Suppose that I want to check the Canada sales where the brand is only LG. Okay, here I have multiple conditions. Let us see if multiple conditions is evaluated or not. I am creating another measure. I am writing Canada LG sales. Okay, I want to see the LG sales in Canada. I'll write calculate total sales, and I'll write country equal to Canada, and since I have to use and I'll use this double ampersand, which is logical AND operator. You could use this logical AND operator, and I'll write brand equal to LG. Okay, this would evaluate the total sales of LG which is present in Canada, and return us the total sales. I'll close this bracket. Okay, I'll copy the text card. I'll copy this text card and I'll show the Canada LG sales, which is around 1 million. We have this total sales 127, Canada sales it is 6 million, and Canada sales where only the brand is LG it is around 1 million. Once if we look at the measure like properly, here in the first expression, which is our aggregation function, okay, in the second expression we have these conditions where it results in either true or false condition. If the country is Canada and also the sales brand equal to LG, if both the conditions are satisfied and are true conditions, then it will evaluate the total sales. This is how Boolean filter expressions help us to evaluate by using the calculate function. Let us move on to the other function, which is table filter expressions. Okay, I have shown you the Canada LG sales. Here similarly we could evaluate using the table filter expressions. Suppose that a table expression filter applies a table object as a filter. Okay, here it could be a reference to a model table, but more likely it's a function that returns a table object. That filter, it returns a table object and it could be calculated or evaluate the expression which is written. We can use filter function to apply complex filter conditions which cannot be determined or defined by the Boolean filter expressions. For example, here I'll show you expression where it could be determined, but there for the complex situations you could evaluate by using filter condition. I'll write a measure by using Canada and LG sales by using filter. Okay, I'll write here that calculate. I have this total sales. I'll put a comma. Here I have filter function where I would enter the sales table. Okay, I'll write the expression where our country equal to Canada, and I'll close the parenthesis. I'll put a comma. In the third parameter, I'll again write the filter expression. I'll write sales, and in the filter expression I would enter brand equal to LG. Okay, I'll close the bracket. Okay, I'll close the measure. Here if you could see in the second expression and third the second parameter and the third parameter, I have entered two filter conditions where I have used it Canada and brand equal to LG. Let us see the output. I'll go to home tab. Okay, I'll take the text card and let us see the measure. Here you could see the same output, which is 1 million. Okay, where I have used the filter function. The result would be same, but the way it is working using the filter condition, it differs. Okay, and this is how table filter expressions could be used at a like basic level, and you could use advanced calculations moving ahead. Here in the Boolean filter expressions, we have seen how Canada LG sales measure has worked by directly writing these column and column values. Okay, let us move on to the third part, which is filter modification functions. Filter modification functions, what it does is it modifies the filters, existing filters. Okay, and the all function and its variants, it behaves both as filter modifiers and the functions that return table objects. Okay, and here there are few functions like remove filters, all variants, keep filters, use relationship, cross filter. These functions are like filter modifier functions as an example to show you where filter modification functions work. I'll make a new page. I'll help you understand what these filter modification functions are. Suppose that we take the brand. Okay, here we have this brand. I'll little zoom in. Here we have this brand which is Apple, Hawaii, LG, Motorola, and other companies. I'll bring in the total sales. Okay, when I bring in the total sales, you could see that in the table we have the values. Here we have the values filtered out and the total is 127 million. These values are now filtered on the basis of brand. Okay, suppose that I want to modify this filter and I want to calculate this total value in all the rows with like if I want to remove this filter context which is existing, what I would do is I'll write a measure using all function. Here I am writing a measure where I'll write all sales equal to calculate. I'll write total sales. I'll put a comma. Here in the second parameter, I'll write all sales or like I'll write all function. I'll open the bracket and I'll write sales table. I'll close the bracket. Okay, I'll close the measure. This is a simple measure which I have written by calculating the total sales and I am removing the all filters which is existing in this table. Okay, now I am trying to use the measure in the table. Here you could see that my all sales is modifying the existing filter and it is resulting in the total sales without filtering the brand. Okay, now it helps me in identifying the percentage total for the sales with respect to brand. I'll show you how to do it. I'll again create a measure. I'll write percent sales. I'll write percent sales equal to, I'll write total sales divided by all sales. This would result me in the percentage calculation where the brand percentage according to the total value it would be in percentage format. To make it in percentage format, I'll click on the measure. I could just click on this percent in the measure tools. As soon as I click it, here you could see that out of 100%, Apple sales is around 25% and LG sales is 25%. Least sales is Huawei. So these are like this is one of the example by using all function where the filters are modified and it is example for filter modification functions. Okay, these are few expressions, filter expressions, which are used in calculate, and it is quite helpful in many cases or business scenarios to be solved. I hope I am able to make you understand these functions. Please, practice. Thank you for watching, and we shall meet in the next video.